Hi guys and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about my little travel art kit that I'm putting together for a little trip that I have planned for the next little while. And in the second half of the video, we're gonna make some super tiny art with it. And just a really quick reminder, today is the last day to back my tarot Kickstarter. I am so grateful to everyone who already has backed it, who's shown support for it, who's checked it out. Thank you so much. But yeah, today is the last day for my Lunar Lost Tarot deck. I can't believe it. The exciting thing is that once it ends, I can just really push forward with getting it produced and shipped out to you guys, and then we get to move on to a new project. But yeah, today is the very last day to pledge for that. So make sure to follow the link in the description and go check that out. So I wanted this kit to be a bit of a balance between small, very portable, concise, but also I wanted to put some things in it that were just gonna be fun and I was excited to use. So the first thing is of course the paper. I actually have these 3 little watercolor paper pads, I guess you could call them. Some of them are blocks, one is a pad. And it's a great opportunity for me to just grab those, bring them, they're all set, they're ready for me to just start painting on them. So that's perfect for that. I also gathered a medley of brushes, just an assortment of some of my favorites, some that I think will be fun for just some mark making and getting into the groove of just using the watercolors and not really relying as heavily on sketches per se. And yeah, I just grabbed ones that I knew I would enjoy. I also had a set of these like mini brushes that I got from Pocatello a while ago and I have not had an opportunity to use them. So I thought, of course I have to bring them on my little travel kit. I'm also bringing some loose watercolor paints, just ones that I'm excited about using and I want to explore playing with them. They're pretty much all granulating. There's a couple that are special. So one has like an iridescence to it and the other is a glitter paint. I love them. So I knew I wanted to throw those in because they just give me so much joy to use. And then the star of the show is this little Etcher Lab palette. I got this sent to me months and months ago and I just love it. It's so satisfying to use. It's ceramic, so it has like a weight to it. And I personally love ceramic palettes for watercolors. I'm actually working on replacing the workspaces that I use with my watercolors with entirely ceramic. It feels so good to work with. So it has this really nice weight to it, even though it's really small and it's very transportable. So it's just like this perfect balance between the two worlds of easily transportable, but feels really quality. I love it. So it has the 19 wells in this top area that I had filled with the paints that I mostly use. And then there's it's a mixing palette below. I need to wash it out. It's full of Payne's Gray. And then of course I have my pencil pouch. It just has my mechanical pencil. I have some of the Palominos, the wood pencils, and I adore them. These are all that I have left though, so I need to buy some more because they're getting pretty short. But yeah, these are just like the basic drawing tools that I need. And then I'm just bringing a couple little notebooks. So I have my calendar. I love planning things. I find that really pleasant and exciting. So I knew that I wanted that to come with me on vacation so I can plan out some fall time activities. And then I have my everyday carry notebook. It's also called like a commonplace notebook. That's just where I put everything down. I actually write all sorts of things in there. I write what I'm thinking. I journal a little bit. I do a lot of sketching. It's just a place so that I have somewhere to write and think and be creative, and I don't have to worry about where I'm going to put it. I just put it in there. And I'm also bringing a dotted notebook for more concrete, specific plans for upcoming events, work, and for me and personal life and all that stuff. So yeah, it's fun for me to think about what to do with myself. But let's talk about tiny artwork. I found this very fun, very just satisfying, easy as in it was just easy to get into the zone and enjoy the process. Tiny art can absolutely open up a lot of new challenges, which I find really interesting that sometimes a smaller piece of artwork can actually take the same amount of time as a larger piece for me. It all depends on the kind of things that I'm putting in there, but the smaller it is, the slower and the more precise I often find myself needing to work in to make sure that the details get as clean as it can when it's so small. They really matter. Like when you're painting an eye and doing the line work for that and it's millimeters, it has to be exact. When it's much bigger, you can go over it a couple of times until you get it exactly right. You can tweak it. But with these tiny things, you just kind of have to get it in one shot almost. So it's a very freeing experience. I should say that. It's freeing in the way that it's just, you sit down and you paint it, and if it works, it works, and if not, it wasn't a massive investment of time or materials. You can set it aside. You could do another one if you wanted. You can completely redo the same thing, and it's not this horrible nightmare of just painting the same stuff again. That's something that is kind of nice about working small. There have been many times in my past that working large, I've ran into a very significant problem and wanted to scrap it and start over, but I had such a hard time imagining repainting all that I'd already painted. But when it's tiny, you can just do it and you can have fun with it. It's also really fun to test out different color palettes with things that are really tiny like this. There's just such low commitment with it, but you can see almost instantly how different colors look together. So I actually do these really tiny color comps. I should show them more often, but I do really tiny ones with the watercolors that I'm going to use just to figure out the placement and the values, and I love those. Sometimes I like those more than the full final image because there's just a little bit more life and energy to it. But anyways, I like to use those to figure out the colors, and it does open up a lot of new doors where I may not want to commit to a new palette for a large piece. Even if I've done a color study and I've tested it out and I can see that technically it works, sometimes I still have hesitation. I'm afraid that I won't actually like it in the long run. But working on these tiny paintings like this, it allows me to complete a painting with that color palette and let it sit and let me look at it a couple of times and see how I feel about it and see how I feel about the colors. And oftentimes it can lead to a new piece, a new painting that has new colors that I didn't know I would like, and then I tested it out and I did. And I love the idea of filling my house with these tiny little paintings, just putting a little bit of like that blue tack on the back of the painting and sticking it in random places throughout my house. I think I'm gonna do that. I need more art in my house. Like, I actually genuinely do not have almost anything hanging on my walls. I think I have like commitment issues, but I want my home to be full of color and magic and life. So I think this would be a fun place to start by making these little tiny vignettes of art that I can just put anywhere, unlimited. I can just stick it wherever I want. And don't forget, my Lunar Lost Tarot deck Kickstarter is ending today. That is going to be 8 Mountain Standard Time, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, make sure to jump on that. Help us get that last stretch goal to get the gilded edges. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. This has been such a dream come true to work on the project and to actually get it funded like this. So thank you all so much for that. I am so grateful. And I can't wait to see where the next project takes me, and it's gonna be an adventure for sure. But yeah. Today's the last day. There's a link down in the description that'll take you over there so you can check that out. And that's it for today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.